Okay, good day everyone. For today's discussion, we're just going to discuss about another methods how can you solve a volume of solid revolution. So in this method, we're just going to discuss about volume of solid revolution using the cylindrical shell method. So like the this and the washers method, meron tayong dalawang uri ng axis of revolution sa ating cylindrical shell. So, meron po tayong horizontal axis of revolution and meron tayong vertical axis of revolution. So, sa horizontal axis of revolution, kung mapapansin niyo po, don't get confused. Kapag sinabing horizontal axis is yung ikot po niya, yung sinabing horizontal axis about the x-axis. So, iikot po yung ating graph sa x-axis. So, dahil po sa x-axis yung ikot ni graph, yung ating cylindrical shell, o itong triangle na nakikita nyo is pa ganito, pa horizontal. And so, ibig sabihin po niyan yung ating curve or ating graph nung given is dapat naka-delta y or in terms of y. So, ito yung pinaka-cylindrical shell natin, naka-delta y siya. So, ibig sabihin po, naka-in terms of y lahat ng ating given. So, meron tayong from here to here, hy or the height of the cylindrical shell. And from here to here is your radius or your p of y. And then your limit of integration kasi nga dahil nga sa umiikot siya sa ating x-axis. So yung limit of integration natin is pag dito natin hahanapin sa y-axis. So that will be c to d. And then for vertical axis of revolution po, ang ikot naman niya is si y-axis. So dahil sa y-axis siya iikot, ang ating cylindrical shell is patayo, pa-vertical. So, dahil dito po yung ikot, yung pa-vertical po ang ating cylindrical shell at ang ikot niya is sa y-axis, ang ating graph po ay naka-delta x. So, in terms of x. Ganun din, meron tayong h of x and p of x. Kung saan po, ang h of x is yung height ng ating shell, which is from here hanggang dito, height. And then, yung ating radius is from here hanggang doon. So, which gives you p of x. So, ang ating limits of integration po kapag vertical axis of revolution is from a to b. So, dahil in terms of x po yan, yung ating limits of integration ay nasa x-axis tayo titingin. Horizontal axis of revolution, dahil po dito ang ikot natin at delta y po yan, ibig sabihin sa y-axis po tayo titingin dahil nga delta y. Sa madaling salita po, meron tayong, we're just going to multiply our p of y and h of y or our radius and our height together with 2 pi for the integration of c to d kapag horizontal axis. Kapag naman po vertical axis, volume is equal to 2 pi, the integration from a to b, px, hx, dx. Sa madaling salita, para mas madali nyo maintindihan, ganito lang po yan. Kapag sinabing cylindrical shell method po, we're just going to multiply only the volume is equal to 2 pi, the integration from a to b or c to d, or the limits of integration, shell radius multiplied by shell height. Yun lang po. Diba sa this method, squared lang natin yung ating given. Yung naman washers method, kailangan meron lang tayong butas sa gitna or kung saan kailangan dalawa yung radius mo. Dito po, multiply mo lang literal yung height tsaka yung radius ng ating given. Yung height is kung gaano kataas yung ating cylindrical shell, and then yung radius is from here hanggang doon. Yung ganun din dito sa kabila. Yung height is gaano kataas, and then yung radius is from here hanggang dito. So, para mas maintindihan nyo, I provided some example for you to follow. So, number 1. Y is equal to negative x squared plus x. Y is equal to 0 and y is equal to 0 revolving about the y-axis. So, una po, i-graph muna natin ito. So, sa pag-graph niyan, ang graph po ni negative x squared plus x is somehow like this. Pababa. Then, ito ay y is equal to negative x squared plus x. Ito ay negative 1. So, kung nalilito kayo, bakit negative 1, ganyan lang siya. Negative x squared plus x, equate nyo lang sa 0. That will give you x equal to negative x plus 1 equal to 0. So, dyan pa lang, mahanap nyo na agad yung ating points, which is 0 to 1. So, from 0 up until the 1. So, dahil ang given po natin is y is equal to 0, or nasa origin lang din yung isang given natin. So, yan. And then, y-axis po, about the y-axis, so, ibig sabihin po, yung ating graph po ay about the y-axis. So, dito iikot. So, sa madaling salita, dito ang ikot ang graph natin. So, ibig sabihin po, nasa vertical axis of revolution tayo. So, dahil nasa vertical axis of revolution tayo, yung cylindrical shell natin is pa ganyan. So, yung cylindrical shell natin po is pa ganito. So, dahil po nasa vertical axis tayo or nasa y-axis yung ikot, yung cylindrical shell natin is pa ganito. So, ngayon po, dahil delta x naman yan, no need na para baguhin ang ating mga given. So, proceed tayo. Alamin na natin yung given. Yung formula natin is volume is equal to 2 pi from A to B, shell radius times height with the cylindrical shell height. So, sa pagkakataon na to, ano po yung ating radius? Yung ating radius po is from here sa ating cylindrical shell hanggang doon. So, dito po yan. So, let's assume this as x. And then, so, ito po ay x. So, volume is equal to 2 pi from limit of integration natin is 0 to 1. And then, ang ating shell height po ay wala pong pinagkaiba sa ating area. So, ano lang yon, yung taas niya. So, which is from here hanggang dito, or top minus bottom. Yung ating shell height. So, from here hanggang dito. So, that will be, ito, yung graph natin is negative x squared plus x. And then, nasa x-axis lang naman yung sumunod. So, 0 naman yon. So, as is naman siya. And then the x. So, ito po ay simplify lang natin. That will give you volume is equal to 2 pi from 0 to 1. Then, ito ay negative x cubed plus x squared dx. Pagkatapos po, ito ay integrate lang natin ulit. Volume is equal to 2 pi negative x to the 4th over 4 plus x cubed over 3, kasi ito ay 2 plus 1 is 3 over 3. 3 plus 1 is 4 over 4 from 0 to 1. So, evaluate lang po natin ang ating limits of integration. So, volume is equal to 2 pi. Then, 1 to the 4th power is simply 1, and negative nga yung given. So, negative 1 to the 4 plus 1 to the 3rd power is simply 1 over 3. So, simplify lang natin ito. The 2 pi multiply by LCD nila is 12. 12 divided by 4 is simply 3 times negative 1 is negative 3 plus 12 divided by 3 is 4 times 1 is 4. So, 2 pi then 4 minus 3 simply 1 over 12. Ito, pwedeng makancel. So, that will give you 6. Ito ay, sa madaling salita, ito ay pi over 6 cubic units. And that is the final answer po. So, bakit cubic po yung ating unit? Si volume po ito. So, kapag volume, ang ating unit is cubic. Kapag area, squared. So, cubic units. And that's it po. That's the final answer po. Next example. Y is equal to x squared. Y is equal to 0. Y is equal to 4. And x is equal to 2. About the x-axis. So, tandaan nyo po ang ating given. About the x-axis yung ikot ng rotation natin. So, gawa muna tayo ng graph. So, y is equal to x squared is somehow like this. Then, meron tayong given na y is equal to 4. And then, meron tayong given na x is equal to 2. So, dahil po about the x-axis yung ating given, ano ba ibig sabihin ng about the x-axis? Sa x-axis po ang ikot. So, ibig sabihin niyan, sa x-axis tayo iikot. So, ibig sabihin po niyan, ang ating cylindrical shell is pag ganito. Dahil po ang ikot natin is dito. Dahil about the x-axis. So, ayan po, doon ang ikot. So, dahil doon po, kailangan naka-delta y po ang ating mga given. So, dahil naka-delta y po ang ating mga given, anong gagawin natin dito sa y is equal to x squared? Yung y is equal to x squared, i-transpose lang or transform lang natin into delta y. So, square root lang natin both sides. That will give you x is equal to the square root of y. And that is the transformation of this formula. Ngayon po, following the given, di ba, ang formula natin kapag horizontal axis of revolution is 2 pi c to d. Dahil po about the x-axis yung ikot natin, so about the x-axis, dapat ang ating limits of integration ay nasa y. So, dahil meron tayong given na 4 dito, sabihin, ang ating limits of integration, imbis na dito, pag ganito. So, ibig sabihin nun, imbis sa 0 to 2, ang ating limits of integration is 0 to 4. And then, ang ating, ang ating radius, diba, radius times height. So, dito, nasa baba. So, from here hanggang dito, yan ay y. So, ibig sabihin po ang radius natin or ang ating p of y is simply y lang. And then ang ating shell height. Ano ba yung shell height natin? Yung haba, yung laki nito. So, ibig sabihin yung laki nito ng ating height. So, anong height? Ano yan? So, parang area lang yan. Pero, meron tayong given na 4. So, ibig sabihin from here hanggang doon. Para makuha mo yung pinaka-height niyan. So, ito, kung ito ay 4, ito ay 2, ibig sabihin, from dito hanggang dun sa x squared, ay meron tayong 2 units, di ba? Since ito ay 4, tapos ito ay 2, di ba? 2 to. So, ito ay 2 unit, 1, tsaka 2. Di ba? So, ibig sabihin, meron, from here hanggang dito, meron tayong 2 units sa kanya. And, since ito ay, ang graph natin, ito is ito, kunin natin yung ating, mula dito hanggang dito, which is yung 2, and then, yung graph natin na x squared, kunin lang natin yung difference niya para makuha po yung height, yung taas, nung pinaka-graph, nung pinaka-cylindrical shell. Ito. So, para makuha yung ating height. So, that will give you 2 minus square root of y dy. So, that will give you v is equal to 2 pi from 0 to 4. Ito ay 2y. Ito ay y to the 1 half. Diba? Ito ay y to the 1 half. 1 to. So, y to the 1 half times y is simply y to the 3 over 2 dy. So, kunin lang natin ang ating integration pagkatapos. So, volume is equal to 2 pi. Dito ay 2y squared. Kasi y 1 plus 1 is 2 squared over 2 minus y 3 over 2 plus 1 is 5 over 2. May 5 over 2 pa tayo doon. From 0 to 4. Ito ay cancel. So, that will give you v is equal to 2 pi y squared minus, ito ay, akit mo lang yung 2, 2y to the 5 over 2 power over 5 to 0 to 4. Pasok mo lang yung ating limits, upper and limits of integration. So, volume is equal to 2 pi. Then, ito ay 4 squared minus 2 to the 4, 5 over 2 power over 5. And since 0 naman yon, ang wala na tayong susulat sa kanya. Automatic naman na yon. So, ito, kapag kinalculator natin, ang lalabas po sa kanya is volume is equal to 32 pi over 5 cubic units. And that is the final answer po. There we have it. So, next. So, y is equal to square root of x. Y is equal to x. At x is equal to negative 4. So, i-apply lang natin ulit yung ating given. Y is equal to square root of x is somehow like this. Para siyang curve. Y is equal to x is a straight line over here. Y is equal to x. So, meron tayong upper limit, meron tayong dito na 1. And then, since ang given natin is, meron tayong x is equal to negative 4, dun iikot. So, ito yung line ni x is equal to negative 4. Ibig sabihin, ang ikot po niya ay pag ganito. Dito sa line na to. So, dahil meron tayong line na x is equal to negative 4, so ito po yung line na yon. So, ibig sabihin, dito siya iikot. So, ganun pa rin. Vertical axis of revolution pa din. So, ibig sabihin ng ating cylindrical shell is pag ganito. So, no need na para change ng given in terms of y. So, hayaan natin naka-x siya. Meron lang tayong mangyayaring konting pagbabago. By the way, ito pala yung formula. So, 2 pi integration to a to b, then shell radius multiply by height. So, dito po, di ba ang ating, ito yung ating cylindrical shell, from here hanggang dito, hanggang dito, yun yung x. That's your radius, kung ganyan yung ating takbo. Pero since meron tayong x is equal to negative 4, bibilangin mo ngayon, ilan ba mula dito hanggang dito ang unit niya. So, meron tayong 4 na unit. So, plus 4, hakbang, di ba? Mula doon hanggang dito, para makapunta kay x is 4 units. Hahakbang ka ng 4. So, meron kang plus 4 units hanggang makapunta ka kay negative 4. So, dahil meron tayong ganun na to, so ang ating radius po ngayon, instead of x lang, magiging x plus 4. And ang ating limit of integration is 0 to 1 pa din, kasi yan yung graph natin. So, mula dito hanggang nagkataon lang na nag-extend yung ikot niya hanggang doon sa x is equal to negative 4. So, ang ating height po is ganun pa din, yung ating top minus bottom function, which is, yung top function natin is ito. Ano ba ito? Ito ay square root of x. Bottom function mo is yung x. Ito. Top minus bottom. So, ito yung bottom function mo. dx. So, that will give you 2 pi from 0 to 1. Ano lang natin ito? Diba? Ito ay x plus 4. Ito ay x to the 1/2 minus x dx. So, 2 pi from 0 to 1. Ito ay 1/2. And then, ito ay 1. So, x to the 3 over 2. Plus, ito ay 4. X to the 1/2. Ito ay, ito, tsaka to ay negative x squared. Ito, tsaka to is x to the 3/2. Ito, tsaka to, 4x to the 1/2. Ito, tsaka to is negative x 1/2. Negative x squared. Ito, tsaka to is minus 4x dx. So, ang ating gagawin po is integrate lang natin. So, 2 pi, 3/2 plus 1 is 5 over 2. So, meron tayong 5 over 2 dito. 1/2 plus 1 is 3 over 2. 1/2 plus 1 is 3 over 2. So, may 3 over 2 tayo doon. Minus x to the third power over 3 minus 4x squared over 2 from 0 to 1. Tapos, ang susunod natin gagawin is akit lang natin ito. So, 2 pi 2x to the 5 over 2 over 5 plus 2 times 4 is 8x 3 over 2 over 3 minus x cube over 3 minus cancel ito. So, 2x cube na lang. 2x squared from 0 to 1. So, i-apply lang natin ang ating limits of integration. So, 2 pi, pasok mo lang yung 1. 1 to the 5 over 2 power is simply 1 times 2 is 2 over 5 plus 1 to the 3 over 2 power is simply 1 times 8 is 8 over 3 minus 1 to the third power is simply 1 over 3. 1 squared is simply 1 times 2 minus 2. So, ito, isolve muna natin. Simplifyin muna natin. Ito, dahil ito ay common factor, pwede natin itong simplify ay 7 over 3 plus 2 over 5 minus 2. That will give you, so 2 pi, ito ay, itong dalawang to ay 15. So, 15 times 6, 5, 35. 15 divided by 5 is 3 plus 2. So, 15 divided by 5 is 3 times 2 is 6 minus 2. 2 pi, ito ay 41 over 15 minus 2. Ito ay 2 pi, ito ay 15. So, 15 divided by 15 is 1 times 41 is 41. 15 divided by 1 is 15 times 2 is 30. In short, ito ay 2 pi multiply by 41 minus 30 is 11 over 15. So, i-simplify na natin. Since wala na tayo makakancel dyan, simplify lang natin. 11 times 2 is 22 pi over 15 cubic units. And that is the final answer now. And there we have it. Ganyan po ginagawa yung ating volume of solid revolution using the shell method. Tandaan nyo lang, kapag shell method, all we need to do is to multiply shell radius and shell height. There we have it. Thank you very much for listening.